What's going on, everybody? Eric Lindquist at Awesemo.com coming to you with my breakdown for Yahoo. 3 players to utilize for Monday Night Showdown. That is between the Seattle Seahawks and the Washington football team. Hopefully, this is a primetime game that can actually live up to some hype, even though I don't have much promise for any football game in primetime anymore. But you know what? That's why DFS exists, and that's what I'm looking forward to. And you should be looking forward to playing over at Yahoo because right now, if you deposit now as a new user, $10 or more, you will get 1 free month of Awesemo Plus Platinum completely free. Everything we offer behind the paywall, that's not just NFL, but NBA as well. NHL's in full swing, every single sport. So take advantage of that offer. It's the best in the industry. And hey, let's get to my picks. For my first pick on the day, I understand Russell Wilson is going to garner a ton of attention up in the superstar spot. And that makes sense. Russell Wilson historically is the better quarterback between the two, but if I'm making one lineup, if I'm trying to get a little bit different and still not give up a ton of equity here based on the projections, I'm going to go to Taylor Heinicke. So obviously DK Metcalf and Tyler Lockett, who we'll talk about here in a second, make a lot of sense as contrarian plays up there. But I'm always going to prefer to try to get some of these rushing quarterbacks into the mix, especially if I feel like they're going to be underutilized in that superstar spot. And there's no doubt about it. Taylor Heinicke can get things done on the ground from time to time. 6 and 10 rushing attempts in 2 of his last 4 games that he's played, including a 95-yard rushing outing against Green Bay. If they're trailing, even better here. Seattle's a road favorite here in this spot. I don't know if I necessarily agree with that, but I digress. Washington +1. I really like utilizing Taylor Heinicke. I think it's a very clear path to be stacking him up with Terry McLaurin and another player we're going to get to later. But I just think that you're going to avoid a lot of duplication going his direction. So he's going to be my priority for the superstar spot on Yahoo today. For my second pick, if I knew the difference between DK Metcalf and Tyler Lockett going off every single week, I think we'd all agree that I'd be a very rich man and I could move to an island and never have to worry about anything ever again. But you got to kind of make some decisions based on what your preference is. And at $23, I just think Tyler Lockett makes the more affordable, easier play, especially if I'm going to make lineups where I'm going to pair Taylor Heinicke in the superstar spot with a guy like Terry McLaurin. It's going to be hard to fit all 3. In fact, I don't think you can fit all 3 in a meaningful lineup here. So I think I'm going to be preferring Tyler Lockett. I like getting to the savings there. And early in the season, when Russell Wilson was active there, we saw 24 and 27.8 Yahoo points against Indiana and Tennessee. Of course, we saw the departure of Russell Wilson and the decline there of Tyler Lockett, aside from one Jacksonville game where he spiked 13 targets and 12 receptions for 142 yards. But I'm telling you right now, Tyler Lockett is going to enjoy having Russell Wilson back a lot more. DK Metcalf, I feel, is a little bit more immune to Geno Smith being the quarterback there in that spot. We saw more active production there for him, a little bit more consistent production, but I'm looking to get a little bit more Tyler Lockett in my life. I think going up against this Washington football team, shorter A-dot throws, finding a way to get the ball out of Russell Wilson's hand fast against this good pass rush from Washington. The defense has not been as formidable as we expected, but they can still get after the quarterback. So give me Tyler Lockett as the priority between the two in this spot. And for my last pick of the day, let's get weird. Let's get way off the board here. And you've got to look at the inactives 90 minutes before this game starts to confirm that he will be in. But I'm going to try to make Adam Humphries a thing. Now, there's a couple of things that might be boding well for him here in this spot. First of all, Ricky Seals-Jones is doubtful going into this game. So that tight end safety valve that you would normally have for Taylor Heinicke in this spot will probably not be available. So that's the first key to the equation. Secondly, Adam Humphries comes into this game with a hip issue. And so as long as he's active, as long as he's good to go, I'm not going to be too concerned about the 45% offensive snap share that we saw for him in week 11 against Carolina. That was a season low for him, but they started to just ground and pound, tried to slow down that game as Carolina was in come from behind mode. So Adam Humphries, getting him off the field in some of those 2 wide receiver sets would make a lot of sense. But in 3 wide receiver sets, if you're looking at Seattle being a team that is going to be extremely competitive here, and, you know, at 3-7, they haven't been good, but we would both probably agree that they're better than what their record displays in a tough NFC West. I think that Adam Humphries could be a guy who could see a little bit more work than everybody else expects. He's got that low number down there at $10. I think amongst all the $10 players, He's a guy that I want to try to make a thing today. Yes, it's very volatile. Cam Sims might be a guy that you could plug and play in the event that Adam Humphries is inactive. But as it stands right now, I prefer him over Dyami Brown. I prefer him over anybody else. I don't even know. DJ Dallas is down there at $10. There's really nothing else that I want to try to make a thing. So Adam Humphries, let's go. And these are my 3 picks for today. We've got Taylor Heinicke up in the superstar spot, Tyler Lockett in the flex, along with Adam Humphries as my deep flyer. Let me know in the comment section below what you think. If you have a deep flyer for this game, if you have a preference between Tyler Lockett and DK Metcalf, I mean, I, again, don't really know what to tell you. But if you have a preference, do let me know that as well. Leave a like, leave a subscribe. But most importantly, new Yahoo users, get that 1 free month of Awesemo Plus Platinum by depositing $10 and entering any paid contest. Best of luck tonight, and we'll see you at the top of the leaderboards.